Hey, what's going on? So, I started an experiment on leaves recently. I have no documentation of the beginning, so take that for what you will. But I'm ready to check the results, and I will explain along the way of what I did. So, first of all, I have a control. The control experiment for what I was doing. I have two leaves, put them in tape. It's packaging tape, and I discovered. Okay, so there's two things. There's a few things about this. I have two leaves for this control experiment. One of them has the stem exposed, and even though this is so yeah. I okay. So first of all, one of the leaves has the stem exposed out of the tape, and the other doesn't. This one is the one that wasn't supposed to, but I was really bad at taping it, and there ended up being a hole in the tape. So it ended up not being a good control, but it is what it is. So this one was the one that I should have covered the stem on. I don't know if it's got like perfect resolution, but and then this one is the one that had the stem exposed. I looked at them over the course of a few days, and the one with the stem exposed, especially, but even though these were both exposed, um, it was interesting. It was as if the age started at the stem and then worked its way through the roots, and now it's all wrinkly. It's lost some of its color. It was a bit brighter of a green, so you could kind of tell anyway that it's like old. But yeah, it is. It lost its green, and it's like that's actually not that bad of. Yeah. So there's that, and then there's this one with the exposed stem by accident. I tried preserving them, but just did a bad job. This one was supposed to be perfectly preserved, so I'm not sure. But it's just the control, so I'll get to the rest of the experiment now. Sorry, I'm a little meh. So the second half of the experiment, or I guess the second, third, or something, I don't know, or fourth even, is I wrote love and hate on some of the leaves, both varying with the stem exposed and not exposed. I haven't checked on those. I've only checked on the control, so I have no idea what the results are for the experiment. I'm about to find out now, but I have been keeping watch over the control, so that's how I know the progress of that. So I'm gonna check on the love leaves first. We'll see the love. I wrote love, and so this is what I did. I wrote love on each of the leaves, so you could see. Hopefully, it's not reversed in the camera. I wrote love, and I also tried to charge it with what I felt was love. And there's not much difference, to be honest. Although I did only charge it once. I charged each of the leaves with emotion and thought one time, and then I just set them away. I didn't revisit them. I don't know any of the you know the differences. This one is actually just as aged as the others, if not more. This one is with the stem exposed. It is just as aged. And then this one no stem exposed. It's not, it's a little less wrinkly, but the color is still gone. And I think there might actually be holes in this one too. So the love is just as excuse me. The love is just as aged as the control experiment. Now I'm going to the hate, because I wrote hate and charged these leaves with energy and thought as well. One time, and then I didn't revisit them. So you could see I didn't show you actually. I don't know why I didn't. But this is love real quick. So this is how love turned out. Just so you could see for yourself. This one's actually not. This is with the stem exposed. This one seems like a little less, but I don't know. It's not really. It's about the same. Now, hate. This one has the stem exposed. It's about the same. This one has a covered stem. Hopefully there's no holes. Actually, you can tell that there's no holes in this, or at least that this it starts at the stem, because at the tip of the leaf it's actually preserved. It's better preserved than the others somehow. So I guess that's kind of the difference, is I suck at preserving the leaves. I probably could have done a better job at this, but so this one's actually better than the others, at least at the tip. And it probably just comes down to how good I can preserve the leaf. And I have one more set, and I could already tell these look so much better. Oh my god. Okay, so what I did is I put them in a baggie. I put a variation of control, love, and hate in a bag, and I put it away in my drawer. And that is actually something I should know before going on, is the leaves I just showed you were exposed to, my room's air, the temperature of the room, and any sunlight that came through my room. They were put away on a shelf, but off to the corner, but they were still exposed to pretty much anything besides air, like the air from the, because I tried preserving them. But the difference being, I put these in a bag and I put them in my drawer. So they were a lot better preserved in a lot of different ways. And already I can tell that these look better. All of them do. So first off, I have hate. And you could tell it looks a lot better preserved. Smells, I can smell it. And then there's love. This one does have the stem exposed. The hate did not, I don't think. The stem is exposed. And as you can see, it's mostly just a decoloration near the stem. The rest of the leaf is actually pretty well preserved, even though the stem is exposed. Except for the tip, actually. Maybe there's some kind of hole at the tip or something. You could tell it's brown. Maybe I bent it or something and that caused it to die. But either way, this is love. The stem is exposed. And then I've got two of the control. And this is almost perfectly preserved. The tip is a little brown, it's folded too. So there might be something about folding the leaves that causes it to die at that area. This stem is covered in this one. And then I have a fourth. The stem is exposed. And this one is a little more deader. The top half is greener, but you could tell it's pretty well aged anyways. Not very wrinkly, but it is a little older. So that was the results of my experiment. Interestingly, I'm surprised by how much light. I'm assuming it's sunlight. Even though my blinds are closed, I kept my blinds closed pretty much all of the time. So there's not much sunlight getting through. I mean, there's obviously some. My light isn't on. There's lights, but so I have that light. I have this light, and that's it. The blinds are closed, and they have been. So I'm not quite sure why the leaves that were just laying out on my shelf. I'll show you how I laid them. So I put them here on this place. Here, up there, and down there. And yeah. I don't really know what the difference was, besides the fact that I put the preserved ones in the baggie and in my drawer. I put them in here, and I just left them. The drawer was open half the time too. I don't close my drawer. I just leave my drawer open half the time. So the drawer wasn't even closed. The baggie was just tossed in. So the main difference might actually be the bag. But even then, well, then again, so the bag, I do know plastic is resistant to some types of light. I forget at the moment. So it might be that Wi-Fi light might actually have something to do with it. Electromagnetic fucking, what do you call that? Debris? I don't know. I'm not sure, actually. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to do a part 2 where I research what this bag is resistant to and what kind of light it allows through it, because I know there's some variation, but I just don't know. I don't know the facts about that right now. But it seems to be the only factor contributing to the difference between. I mean, the only real factor, because like I said, my drawer was open. I just left my drawer open. It was not closed. It was not like sealed shut or anything. It's just, I tossed the bag inside. So, if I had to guess the difference between the bag, the leaves, and the leaves that just sat out on my shelf, not quite exposed to sun, but they were out. The difference would be the bag. The bag sealed them. First of all, sealed them of air. So if I did suck at any of my hate leaves, or maybe my what do you call it? If I did suck at packaging any of these leaves, including these, this bag would have preserved them better than the regular exposed ones. But there is a clear difference. There's such a clear difference that it's really undeniable. The difference between the leaves that I tried preserving and leaving out just in my room, and the leaves that I stuck in a bag. I preserved, stuck in a bag, and a Ziploc bag, and just tossed in my drawer. There's a clear difference, and it might be the bag. So I have another idea. Before I move on to any other experiment, I want to mix these. So I want to put 2 here and then 2 here. I guess these will be fine. It doesn't matter at this point. So I've got like a mix. I've got a mix. So some preserved, some not, some older. Same with this, and I'll put those in a bag and those out, and then we'll see again what the difference is. Oh, my nose is not okay right now. So yeah, and then in the meantime, I'll get back to you about that bag because it seems to be the difference between what preserves something and what doesn't. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of digging. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye for now.